Welcome to another week of Rain City Roar. I'm Butler.
I'm Neil.
And I'm Detroit Rick. What's up, bitches?
What's up, indeed, motherfuckers? I think I finally understood today what you guys mean when you say a win is a win.
Yeah,
Dude.
I've never agreed with that, but
This was not an easy game. This was, in my opinion, the hardest game that we had left on our schedule. And the one-time 1-6 Detroit Lions are now the 7-7 Detroit Lions.
7-7.
These guys are putting some good football games together.
Yeah,
they really are. And the one thing I mean, we continue to talk about the Goff experiment all year. I figured another thing out today. I'm glad no one in the competition watches our cast here, but when he's got time, he can throw the ball. But when he's rushed, he throws like goof. I mean, there was 4 really little floaters like kind of earlier in the season, and the Jets had said they're going to put pressure on him and see what happens, and we saw what happened. So
right.
But thank God we got the offensive line we got. So
yeah, we should have really lost this game today. Our defense played well, but their defense, holy shit! I listening to all the NFL today and all the game day stuff and how awesome the Jets defense was. They showed that shit today.
Yeah, this was not an easy team. This team,
and I didn't see that coming.
No, I mean, I don't understand how all those wobbly lame duck just bombs kept connecting for the Jets. But man, they're not a push down knockover team. Like they're a good team, and we just beat them.
Yeah,
and we're 2-0 in the Meadowlands this year.
2-0 in the Meadowlands.
Yeah, I got to disagree. I don't think they're that great of a team, and I don't think Wilson's that great of a quarterback. But their defense put a lot of pressure on, and the rest of the guys, besides Wilson, played really well today. So, but hey,
that boy can throw a football. Holy shit! He would air that ball out with no freaking stress at all.
Yeah, I mean, Goff can throw a football that far and not hit anybody on the stride too. I mean, any quarterback in the NFL can do that.
Well, he hit some strides.
I'll tell you what Goff can't do, and he can't out-throw Jameson Williams.
No, right?
Did he even throw to Jameson Williams?
Yeah, the one where the guy knocked it out.
There was that one early on in the game. It was when we ended up having that drive that we settled for the first field goal. He aired one out, and Williams just kind of had to stop and wait for it, and then the DB caught up and knocked the ball away. But it was almost exactly the same as what last week's was, where he had that big long one they had kind of like stop and wait for, except there was a guy there this week. So
yeah.
Someone there. I don't know if it's the package they're running with him. There's got to be a couple different packages, but he just didn't get any looks. Like I think somebody said that. Where's JMO at? Because you can throw slants to him too. I don't know why they're just going for the deep ball, but whatever. Yeah.
So real quick, look at Ralph. I agree, Ralph. I don't know how to act. We're in the bar. We go to the same bar and we watch all of our games. And everybody in the bar now we kind of got them all on our side. They're all loving the Lions. They're coming up. People were leaving because their games were over, and they all stopped at the front door to watch the end of this Lions game. And they come over and give us high fives, hugging us, shaking our hands and stuff. This is uncharted waters, man. I'm not used to this kind of shit.
I was getting text messages today as that game ended. Like the Lions are kind of becoming that national darling where people want to see them be successful, and I'm for it. I'm cool with it.
Me too. And that's all they're talking about on NFL Game Day and NFL Network. The Red Hot Detroit Lions. The Lions are roaring. I'm like, holy shit! I ain't heard this shit since the Barry Sanders days.
No, this is weird.
Yeah, it's way weird.
This is weird. We've won 5 out of 6 games, and the one that we lost was a very close game against a very good team. The Vikings locked up the division yesterday, but I mean, what a hell of a game that was for them. But these guys are going to make a run for the wild card.
Yeah,
I fucking buckle up because they're going. They're trying. They're trying. You got
So. And that's the thing, too. You got to remember the games. We had 2 blowout games, but the rest of the games the rest of the year were close. I have a graphic I want to show real quick.
Hey, before you do that, can you show my girlfriend? Because I really want to open this up.
Yes, I can do that for you, Rick.
Mine's already open.
You guys want to help out our buddies over at Montucky. Go to the Montucky Cold Snacks Finder, and you can find the beer near you. You just enter your code. tell you all the bars and the gas stations and convenience stores you can buy it at. This is Rick's favorite picture right here.
Oh no,
me and Neil have a better one though.
that bless her little heart.
Their site as well. You can also buy merch on our site for 25 off. RCR 25 off at GearUpDetroit.shop if you guys want to go over there. And yeah, so buy some Montucky and buy some merch. There's some good stuff on Gear Up Detroit. So the graphic I wanted to bring up though was the close games beginning of the year. Here's you got the first half of the year. You got the Eagles lost 38-35, 3 points. Commanders, that's 9 points. Vikings, 4 points. Seahawks, 3 points. Then we get blown out. We had a couple struggles, and they're back to the Dolphins, 4 points. And then, we start making the difference and winning. So, yeah, I mean, we're 7-7, but this very well could have went completely different way.
Oh yeah,
they could be 10-4 right now, easy.
Yeah.
Or they could be the opposite. I mean, we are where we are, and that's what we have to work with. But this playoff race is
it's fun now.
It's tight. It's tight. You've got the NFC South. You got Tampa Bay currently in first place in their division.
Aren't they how are Tampa Bay in first? Aren't they like 6-7 or something?
Yeah.
Jesus.
They're 6-7. Then you got the Cowboys in the first wild card spot at 10-4. And then you got the Commanders and the Giants both sitting at 7-5-1 right now. I don't know what that. Let me see why they haven't played yet.
While you're looking there, Troy's on from YouTube. Wow, guys, what a game! Yeah, Troy. That we're just saying, man. It's and you also said they're for real. I agree, man. This is this is not SOL, guys. This is something. There's some things happening. So I'm really excited. Hey, one thing we don't ever really ask this of you guys, and since we got a lot of you in the chat right now, we want to just get you over to our Facebook, to our YouTube, to our Twitter. So, you guys, if you guys get a chance, our YouTube just started about 4 weeks ago. If you could subscribe, that would be awesome. I swore I'd never say that, but I did. So whatever. I got a good Stringer Bell picture here. If you guys are familiar with The Wire at all. You ever watch The Wire, Neil?
Nope, I have zero idea what that reference.
I thought you watched The Wire. I thought I put that up for you. All right, well, Stringer Bell's the enforcer on The Wire, but you guys get a chance to watch. It's a really good program. Anyways,
the Giants and Washington both play each other tonight at.
They play. Now, I looked at the playoff generator with that. Since the Commanders beat us, ideally we'd like the Giants.
The Commanders.
Or I'm sorry, since we beat the Commanders and the Giants.
Yeah, we
don't
both.
care who really wins that game. So.
So realistically,
I guess
the Giants
who has a better chance of winning out?
Well, realistically, the Giants. So tonight they play the Commanders, then the Vikings, then the Colts, then the Eagles, and then the Commanders play.
The Vikings got a tough schedule ahead of them.
No, I'm not a Washington fan. Quit asking me. Then the Commanders play. They got the Giants tonight. The last game was against the Giants. They played the Giants 2 games in a row. That's wild.
That's weird.
But then they play the 49ers, the Browns, and the Cowboys. So we can expect losses coming from both of those teams.
Both teams have tough schedules now.
And we have the Seahawks. The Seahawks are the ones that
I loved it.
Their stuff was awesome.
Love me some Thursday night football, baby.
So then the Seahawks have they played the 49ers and lost. Then they got the Chiefs. Then they played the Jets, and then they've got the Rams. So they could conceivably lose 2 of their next 3 games also. We're okay.
Yeah.
Because our next couple games, we've got the Panthers, we've got the Bears, and then we've got the Packers. And I say that feels like it leans favorably towards us. They have to go out and they have to play the games, they have to execute. But man,
have we swept the division this year?
No, we lost to the Vikings once.
Lost the Vikings, okay.
Should have beat them
by 3 points. They scored at the very end.
You know what the Lions did last night, Butler? I think they brought the bus to town.
Dude, I looked everywhere for that where I could download it, and DSN never got back to me on the thing. But yes, I was going to ask you, did you send the MILF bus or did you send the MILF short bus because they almost won?
I think it was a bus. We'll just call it a bus.
I'm waiting on the GILF bus, not the MILF bus.
Hey, thanks, Ralph. We appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, we got Jeff from Facebook. Wasn't pretty, but it was a win. And yeah, it wasn't pretty, but yeah,
it wasn't pretty. We started off. I was excited as hell.
The second quarter, again, clock management, guys. I don't know why you guys are arguing with me on this, but again, they could have ran out that first quarter and went out 3-0. They had first down and about a minute and 16 or a minute and 26 seconds left, and they did it again. They ran on first, ran on second, passed on third, and stopped the clock, and then they got the ball back. So I don't get the clock management because at the end of the game, they were right there again. So,
Matt, what the fuck, Matt? Damn Air Force guys.
That's right. Rick does drive the short bus. Rick also rides the short bus. Dwayne puts this team is different. They're playing like a team plus chemistry.
I would comment on that. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. You're 100% correct, dude. We have chemistry on the team that we have not had in many, many years. It's awesome to see these guys gel what they're doing. And they're punching people in the nose and biting kneecaps when they get up.
I'll say this. One of my favorite things I saw on social media today. Do you know who Gary Vaynerchuk is?
No.
He's pretty successful social media guy. He does like a lot of motivational stuff, like speaking conferences, shit like that. He's an entrepreneur. He started out doing garage sailing stuff where he bows and flips, whatever. He's got 5.5 million followers just on Facebook. And I was scrolling through stuff today. He's a great guy. He likes to swear. He's one of us. But he posted 5 hours ago. He said, "Worried about this game against the Lions," because he's a Jets fan. And it's like Gary just blasted out that he's worried about the Lions to all 5.5 million of his followers on Facebook. And you know what? For good reason.
Yeah.
It was for good reason.
Yeah, no one really wants to play the Lions right now.
Well, Mark asked this question, which I didn't see today. So why are the pregame commenters always picking the other team? I don't know. I didn't think they were today. I didn't watch a lot of the pregame, but they were definitely all in the bandwagon after the game again. I noticed that.
Yeah,
well, it's muscle memory at this point.
Yeah, well, the pregame I watched, the only one that picked the Lions winning today was Irving, which I hate him, but Irving picked them. Everybody else, Mariucci, all those guys all picked the freaking Jets, saying how badass they were, and their defense showed up. They played really good ball. But then Mariucci, I was kind of bummed out because Mariucci's all Lions still aren't that good. I'm like, really, dude? What have you been watching?
Speaking of defense, the last quarter, I mean, they blitzed almost every. The Lions ends were coming around the corners. They were putting so much pressure on him. That was huge. So
the beginning of the game, they put some pressure. Then I look at Neil and says, why aren't they even pressuring anymore? That was second and third, but then the fourth, they brought everything in there in the fourth quarter.
I don't know if they were saving it up or what, but
man, they could have a couple more times too.
Neil, what do you think of Austin's comment there?
Sorry, I was pulling up stats.
Oh. Pulled a Campbell 3 timeouts. I agree.
Yeah, I said the same thing.
I was saying, why isn't he calling a timeout? But
30 seconds ran off the clock, and I look up and I see 3 timeouts. And I said to Neil and I said to Terry next to me, I said, why is that calling a timeout? Not that I want him to, but why is he not doing it?
There's that old military saying that goes along the lines of when your enemy's making a mistake, basically don't be rude and interrupt them.
Yeah, let them do it.
Yeah, and Evan number 794 says,
"Hey Evan, how you doing, Evan?
Every game so far this season, 6th round steal. Brock Wright, 5th round steal. We didn't need a 1st round tight end. I mean, yeah, absolutely, Evan.
What a redemption performance for Mr. Wright there.
Oh man,
dropped that one pass, real easy one, would have moved the chains, and then just absolutely just seals that game. Holy shit! Like that was a hell of a play. You should have been there, dude. Like we were hype. We were so hyped up at the end of that game. But the thing that Rick said earlier is just like it's not just us. That everybody else is starting to kind of come into this and get excited with us and stuff, and it's really weird to see and feel. But
we're good. Yeah. So we go to this bar and you have your Steeler fans, you have your Eagles fans. Every single one who came to our table where we're at, we get the big table, and they're all standing behind us and cheering us on and watching the game. Oh my God, guys, this is freaking awesome! I mean, it's something we've never seen before.
No. While we're talking about it, let's get the Matthew Morris player of the week candidates out there. I don't think we want to put. Do we want to put Goff in the conversation this week or no?
No.
I don't think we want it.
No.
Really, I believe it comes down to Romeo or Aquara with his 2 sacks, or Amon-Ra, Julian Haru, J. St. Brown.
Yeah.
There's more? Holy
He's
shit.
got a lot of names. Huh. Yeah, I was looking at it the other night.
I'm throwing Brock Wright out there. I mean, that was
okay.
Huge play. I mean,
you want to highlight the one play?
If we were doing play of the game like we used to, it's a no-brainer. But player of the game too. I mean, he dropped that first one. It was a little goofy, goof throw, just a touch. But he should have caught it. But that was that turned the game around. That sealed the deal. Yeah, we knew he wasn't going to make that 68-yard or 58. How long was that field goal? I knew he wasn't going to make that.
54.
No, it was
54, I think
55
it was.
57. It was more than 55. But either way, I knew after the ones that we've been burnt on in the past in the last minutes and games, Vikings, I mean, I could go on and on. I knew he was going to miss that. So, all right, you guys vote on that one. Put it in the comments and let's see what's up.
If you guys want to give it to Brock Wright with his 1 reception for 51 yards and a touchdown, even though it was clutch as shit, that's your call to make.
Okay, we got Brock Wright from Austin. We got 100% agree from Dwayne. We got Alicia saying we got to give it to Brock. Fucking Butler wins again. I love it. I love to win.
No, we'll let you have this one. Well, look at Evan. Evan, give yourself some credit. You're not number 2. What the hell, Evan?
No, Ralph said that he's being a total fanboy right now. He's rewatching Hard Knocks.
Yeah,
dude, I think it's a good time to do it.
Yeah, now it is. Yeah.
Let's talk about what Corey said real quick too. Really hope we can keep Ben Johnson, and Dwayne agreed with that. We need to keep. I mean, he's doing a good job. He's making some plays. He's mixing some things up, stuff we haven't seen in years. I don't know. I'm with you guys on that.
I just want to point out the elephant in the room real quick. I'm really disappointed in the performance of Penei Sewell this week. He had 0 receptions and 0 yards.
Yeah, what the fuck?
This is bullshit.
Well, I got to tell you, that shit Dan Campbell.
He's trolling.
You got to love.
Well, one thing that did hurt us today was penalties, and Sewell was one of those. And Sewell has had holding penalties all year.
Those were some.
There was some bullshit holding calls.
Those were like I normally.
Yeah, you don't.
It's got to be.
You don't
crazy.
feed into that. Yeah, you don't feed into that. He don't feed into that.
But these were some real bullshit ones today. Like just general touching that they like the one that they called
at crucial times though. That's the thing.
Yeah, like when the Jamal Williams touchdown, or was it Jamal Williams touchdown that got called back? Mm-hmm. The touchdown that got called back. And they call on Evan Brown, and they said he's holding. Okay, yeah, he's got fingers, right? He's got his hands on
the pads.
So Evan Brown is a big fella. He's probably about 300 pounds and probably in like the 6'1", 6'2" range. He's a good sized fella, and he was on a DB. And my whole argument was like Terry was like, "Oh, you can't do that. You can't do that." And I'm like, dude, he wasn't stopping him from going anywhere except for forward. It was he had a DB by his shoulders and was pushing him straight backwards. The guy wasn't physically able to turn and try to get around and try to make a play on anything. He was just getting worked over by a guy that's twice his size.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And like that one I did not like at all. The one that they called on Ragnow was like, what are you guys looking at here? This is just making physical contact with people. Those refs were, I think, a little itchy with the trigger finger today on some of the flags with the holding stuff.
All right.
But we won, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we won.
Houston,
the win, Butler.
Houston, 5 sacks in 4 games. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
There's a couple really interesting stats that came out today, or that were highlighted today. So again, the Houston thing was one of them. He's playing real well. Like I like those packages where they put him and Hutchinson on the same side. And the other teams don't like it because they go the other way. They go the other way every time. But the other one that was really interesting to me was that I think it was they highlighted on the little pop-up thing on the screen during the game where they said that the Lions have like 13 or 14 consecutive games with a takeaway, and that's the longest streak in the NFL. That's crazy. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. One thing that the Lions are doing right now that they're excelling at is they are taking the ball away and they're not giving it away. That's a huge piece of the story here that's that nobody should overlook is that they're winning that turnover battle week after week, and they're doing a really good job with it. So every time that you can get more possessions and more opportunities to score points, take it.
So Austin says he's still worried about the secondary.
He's right. He's right.
A little bit. I don't know. I don't know because they've been making some big plays when they need to make plays, and that's what defense is all about. I mean, yeah, you need to play defense solidly the whole game, but those big plays like that interception, and some of the, I mean, they were calling for Akuta's head. I don't know if you guys knew about that, but on Twitter it was like they wanted Akuta fired after giving up all those plays in the second and third quarter.
Is this the second game back?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been out for a year.
Yeah, but I mean,
was it one that made the goal line stop?
He did make the goal line stop at the end to redeem himself. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But they were calling for it. Twitter's wanting his head.
Yeah, give him a minute to get back into it. And speaking about Twitter and all the idiots out there talking all this shit, remember not a short 3 or 4 weeks ago, or maybe 5 weeks ago, where half the people out there is like, "Oh, let's give up. They should lose and play for a draft pick." Well, kiss my ass, bitches, because we're 7-7.
No, I think that. So there's a couple things that the secondary has been in a really weird position this year. With Ralph pointed out very accurately with running quarterbacks give us the fits. Yeah, they absolutely do. Jalen Hurts showed that right off the get-go this year, and we haven't gotten any better at it. The Deshaun Elliott periodic benchings that happen, I like Elliott a lot. I think he's a really good football player, and the fact that they don't start him and they don't play him some games, like I don't understand that. I don't know if we'll ever know why they've been doing that, but the Oruwariye stuff early on in the season.
Say that again.
Nope. They had. Yeah, he had some rough games, but I think that he's still a good football player. Jeff Okudah, does he get a little reckless sometimes? Does he take chances and go instinctual rather than thinking about things? Yeah, absolutely. You see that, but I think that if your gut reaction after somebody makes a handful of mistakes in a row is get him off the team, put him on the bench, just call a timeout, talk to the guy, pull him off for a play or two, just figure out what's going on and get his head right, because when he's in there, he does make a difference. He's actually turning into a very hard hitter, which I was surprised about. That one play where he stopped the guy short of the sticks. I think they ended up converting the next play, but the guy was full-grown man going forward, and Okudah hit him, and just it was one of those things where it kind of defied the laws of physics, where he just redirected that guy's entire momentum and he just kind of stopped him dead in his tracks. The Lions are better if number one's on the field. And I'm going to say that right now, and I'm going to stick by that. Leave him on the field and don't get emotional about him making mistakes. He's a risk taker. He's like, look at Brett Favre. If you would have benched Brett Favre every time that he threw an interception, he would have never been one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history.
But you're not talking about you're not going to bench a quarterback. You're talking about a defensive player, right?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Well, one quick thing, Andy. Good to see you, buddy. We haven't seen you in a couple weeks. Is it because the Lions been winning? I don't know. Weird. Where was Rodrigo today? Rodrigo had I was going to
say I didn't hear his name called at all.
I heard it one time, and I'm happy that they called it because I wasn't sure who the hell it was. But
he ran up the middle pretty hard. It was a good blitz.
Fast. That was exactly the play. That was the only time I heard his name called all day.
But I think, Neil, you said it a couple weeks ago, is if you're not hearing their name all day, sometimes that's important too. Because it's So who takes too many dumb penalties, Andy? So going into the fourth quarter, Lions and Jets. I mean, Lions are up 13, Jets are up 10. They kind of picked and picked and played their way down the field a little bit and took the lead.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you, there was never a time in the game, and maybe in the middle of the way through the second quarter, where I was like, I don't know what's happening. But they came out the third quarter, they made the adjustments they needed to make, and I felt really confident the entire rest of the game. How'd you guys feel?
I noticed that today too, because it's one of those things where we're so used to feeling that, oh, here we go.
Yep,
this is getting out of hand. This is getting
lose
crazy.
this game.
I haven't felt like that recently.
I know.
It felt like they were in control through the majority of the game. There was that little pucker moment towards the end, right before Brock Wright got his touchdown. But it never felt like I wasn't sitting there feeling worried and shit, stressed out.
Right. You're right. When we got the ball back, it was what, 3 minutes? No, it was.
It was a little over 2 minutes, yeah.
A little over 2 minutes, yeah. And we were sitting there, and we weren't really like, oh, fuck, here we go. And oh, fuck, here we go. They scored down. That last touchdown was fucking amazing.
Well, and that's the reason I wanted to talk about that is I think my philosophy on that is if we feel like that as fans, and I mean, you know us, we're the most skeptical, most used to being disappointed fans ever, right? You know the team's feeling like that too. The team's feeling the same way, which gives them the confidence to do what they're doing.
Yep. Yeah. I relate that back to like when the Red Wings won those back-to-back cups, they would be down 2 or 3 goals going into the third period. It didn't rattle them, didn't phase them. They stick to the game plan. They come back and they won games. The Lions are doing that right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're confident. They're down and they don't think, oh, we're down, we're just fucking done. They fight back, they scrap, and they win the game.
Resilient is the word that I like to associate with this team right now. It doesn't really matter what happens. They're still in there playing. I will say that one thing that I've noticed kind of as the season's gone on, and I've noticed it probably more so since the Aubrey Pleasant firing, was the team plays laterally very fast. They do a really good job. All those, any run they do that goes to the outside, they do a very good job in pursuit with that. It's impressive.
Well, yeah.
It's impressive. And Alex Anzalone is the guy kind of leading the way on a lot of that, because you'll see 2, 3, 4 guys deep, just making sure that they're running that person towards the sideline. And then a lot of times they're getting a lot of tackles for losses this year.
Right. You're right. So look at Alicia's comment. I'm telling you what, I'm not ragging, I'm not PMSing, but I'm getting all teary-eyed reading her stuff right there because, of course, I love Herman Moore. Herman Moore was my man. I met his mom, and that was cool shit, and hung out with Herman for a little bit. But what he's saying right there, what she's saying right there about Herman Moore, what he said, feels good to be on that other side of this.
Yep, learning to win.
Learning to win.
Andy and I agree on something. Jets pulled a Campbell on Imagine Time that could have tied that game. Holy crap, Andy. We're getting along. I like this. Yeah, I mean, he did. He I wouldn't say he pulled a Campbell, but he definitely didn't manage that last fourth quarter. He kind of managed the last fourth quarter like we managed the second quarter, and then they managed the second quarter like we managed the last, vice versa. But again, defense helped with 2 sacks, a couple pass breakups. Nice to see. Yeah, Austin, man, the defense is playing really well. The first quarter and the fourth quarter, which are 2 of the most important quarters, right, Rick?
Right.
They're playing out lights out.
They're playing lights out. And I'm a little confused because watching the game, NFL Game Day today, or NFL Network, whatever one I was watching, I don't know which one I was on, and listen to these fucking idiots talk. So this whole last week, they've all been talking great about the Lions. Then all of a sudden they come out here today and like, well, the Lions are number 1 in the worst defense, or number 2 in the most yards given up on defense. I'm thinking, are you watching the same team I'm watching?
No, they're correct. I mean, if you look at the totality of the season, yeah, you're
if you clump the whole thing,
They were saying today they were the number 1 offensive line in the league. So
offensive line
going into today's game. So I don't know. I had one
17 points.
I spent a lot of time on Twitter today, but I did have one here I wanted to put. That Lions TD on 4th and inches will haunt the Jets fans all off season. Alex Seeger. Yeah, I agree. That was rough. Of course, what did you guys think about the 4th and goal? Did you know immediately that his elbow was down? Because I saw that immediately.
Yeah, I seen the knee. We were kept replaying. I kept telling him, his knee's down, his knee's down. I didn't see the elbow. And then they circled the elbow and said, oh, yeah, okay, that's a good call.
Okay. Neil, what do you say to Andy there?
About the comment that you just pulled up?
Yep. How long have we been doing this? Can you not figure out that when I ask you a question, it's related to the comment?
No, I just making sure. Just making sure. Because I'm ahead of you. I'm actually watching all the comments as they come in.
Gotcha.
I thought that you were talking about what do you think about the Lions going on 4th down instead of the field goal. So sorry.
That's what I am talking about.
Oh, that's not the ones you just pulled up.
So you're talking about the first drive.
Oh, it's there now. I see it now.
You're talking about the very first drive?
Oh, Christ.
I see it now. I'm sorry.
Okay. What do you think about the Lions going? No, he's not talking about the
man.
I don't think he's talking
about Butler, we make mistakes, man. Like yesterday, I started putting preparation H. I put freaking icy hot in my butthole. That shit was a bad mistake. It was not fun. So shut the fuck up.
You're not supposed to put it in your butthole. You're supposed to put it on your
There's an applicator sticking in.
I don't think you have the right thing there, Rick. What do you think of the Lions going 4th down instead of the field goal? In the first, he's talking about the first quarter.
Yeah, the very first drive, the very first.
We talked about that last week. Tampa's been aggressive all year.
Yep,
I agree with it.
I love it. They did exactly what I mean. If that would have been me wearing the headset making that call, I would have done the exact same thing.
Yeah, you have 1 yard line
because they almost got the safety on the very first play, and then they ended up forcing. Right. Then they ended up forcing the punt, and then Raymond ran the thing back anyway. So for me, it's just any time that you're that close and it's a tie game, you go for it.
Especially 0-0. You got nothing to lose. You're right. I said in my brain, I was like, it doesn't matter if they don't make this. They're going to be pinned back so far that they can make something for the defense happen, which is exactly what happened. So
yeah.
Do you know anything about Tracy Walker, Rick?
No, I know he's out for the year, but
he might not be out for the year.
He posted a thing on his own social media. I think it might have been on his Instagram or whatever, where he was. He said that his recovery is coming along faster than expected. So I think that this is a situation where if the Lions do make a run and they do find themselves in the playoffs, I think that we might have Tracy Walker for the playoffs.
I think I agree. I private messaged him on Twitter.
Yeah,
but I haven't received back. But
I'm surprised by that.
Yeah,
I'm very surprised by that.
Yeah, well, you'd figure he'd reach out to the #1 podcast on Detroit Sports Nation for the Detroit Lions. Surprising that he hasn't.
And Dallas loses to Jacksonville.
Did you see that? No, you guys were busy. The end of that game, so Dallas was driving down the field, and Dak pulled a Dak and threw a fucking pick six.
I missed all that.
All they needed to do was get a field goal. It was hilarious. So,
Did he throw a pick six?
Yes. I agree, Austin. It was awesome. There were a lot of good games. There's been a lot of good games this year.
Yeah, this has been interesting.
And the way that they're splitting up, like we were talking about earlier, Tampa Bay being 6-7, being first place in the division. The way that they're switching the divisions up is making everything kind of like there's opportunities for something like this to happen with the Lions. You know what I mean? Where we've come back and just really made a playoff run late in the season. So you give the NFL a lot of shit, right? Most of the time, all three of us do. But scheduling, they do a pretty good job of that. So let's see how they do with the flexes the next couple weeks, because I guarantee the Lions have got to flex next week or the week after, right? Especially if they win next week, they're definitely going to flex the week after.
I don't know if they would flex because it's not it. That would be against the Bears, and the Bears normally when they flex games it's because like it's a very big game for both.
But
teams.
It's a division game though.
It's got to be a big game for both teams for them to flex it.
So right now the last game of the season, I looked at the schedule this morning. The Packers. What's that?
I love this shirt.
The Packers game. There's not a time on that. That's going to be the night game.
The Packers game I don't see happening. I see Justin Fields, who has again, we talked about a mobile quarterback. I see them flexing that game to maybe even a Sunday night game, because people like you guys talked about, it's not just where you're at, it's where everybody's at, right? You guys out there, tell us if you're hearing it too, is everybody's talking about the Lions, not just in Seattle, not just down in Oregon. I mean, everywhere. So I can't see how, if they win next week against the Panthers, which I feel pretty good they're going to win, I don't see how they couldn't flex that Lions, especially since this is a division game, though it doesn't mean a lot. Justin Fields versus Goff. I mean, that'd be a really good game.
Yeah, I think there's always the potential for it, right? But I don't think that I don't think that's a game that the NFL flexes, just because of it's not high implications for both teams. It's just for one.
Well, I'll make a deal with you, Neil. Either way, I'll clip this and we'll play it. We'll see.
You're gonna clip what, your vagina?
I don't know what he's doing.
I said that either way, we'll clip this little clip that we just did about who's
like physically this. Okay, I got you. You want to know a really interesting statistic?
Yes.
No team that has ever been featured on Hard Knocks has gone to the Super Bowl that year. And I think the Lions are the best chance at that.
Absolutely.
At this moment.
Who was the midseason? Was it the Cardinals?
Cardinals are doing midseason one.
Yeah.
And they suck ass. How cool was it watching the freaking Seahawks lose on Thursday night? Boy, I was like, yeah.
I didn't watch it, but my best friend Nick usually keeps me up on it, so I was definitely aware of what's going on.
They look terrible.
But we love it. Let's let it. And one thing real quick. Let's bring up the game, because if you look at these stats, it was actually a lot closer game than you would.
Yeah, it didn't look that close, but it was.
It really was. I mean, the other thing again that we have held the last 4 weeks is the team's rushing yardage. I don't think they've been over 100 yards. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, in the chat, but we have held teams to less than 100 yards.
I don't think the Vikings did it last week, but no, we've been
no,
very
they didn't. Because Dalvin Cook didn't even have. I don't think Dalvin Cook had 60 yards. So
and the Giants,
we shut him down.
Yeah, he had like 20. He only had 23 yards.
23 yards. So I mean, dude, the run defense. That's the only thing we were talking about. Somebody said earlier about, are we worried about the secondary? I agree. We are worried about the secondary.
No, Dalvin Cook had 15 rushes for 23 yards last week.
Yeah,
isn't that insane?
But they've shut down Saquon. They shut down Cook. And I think they shut down Cook the first time too. Let me pull it up real quick.
So while he's looking that up, look at today's games. How many tackles did we have behind the line of scrimmage? Or we had a ton of them. We could have had a few more that he kind of slipped through, kind of be dancing a little fancy in the back. But we had a lot of tackles for loss on the run game today, which is very impressive.
Agreed.
We could have had a few more, a couple missed tackles, not wrapping them up, but they showed up today. And
in the first matchup, Cook did have almost 100 yards, but there's two distinctive halves to what the hell's going on outside right now. It got very dark and there's big stuff coming. Is that rain?
I don't know what the fuck it is. Oh yeah, it's big old raindrops.
Big old fat rain.
Big fat rain.
Yeah.
Mount Rainier didn't just blow up, did it?
I hope not. I have gas masks.
If we go blank.
I do have gas masks. Like we're ready. We're ready to rock and roll.
I just want to go get a blowjob first before I die. Fun.
You don't have to go home for that, buddy.
Hey, baby.
Are you volunteering Alina again? I don't think you should do that, Neil.
No. I'm carrying myself.
No.
Well, what was what I said last night? I said Rick's been practicing his Disney impersonations and he's starting with Goofy.
Joe says we can stop running anybody. I gotta agree with. Can you think of a running back we couldn't stop at this point? Because look at who we've stopped.
No, since
yeah.
I remember what I was saying. I remember what I was saying before I got distracted by the rain. That's got to be more than just rain.
It's a hell ball. That is hailing.
Oh,
they go hell ball like bouncing everywhere.
Oh, that's impressive.
Holy shit! We got a whiteout going on out here.
It's going. Hold on a second. One second. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's coming.
Yes.
But there's two distinct halves to this season. I'm going to finish my thought. There was when we had Aubrey Pleasant, and then there's the version of the team when we didn't have Aubrey Pleasant. And they've been shutting everybody. This is wild.
Now it's snowing.
What the fuck is going on right now? Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That graphic.
Aubrey Pleasant, that's not Aubrey Pleasant.
I'm sorry, what?
That's Aubrey Pleasant, and that's one game after Aubrey Pleasant.
Yeah, that's insane. Insane.
Yeah, we I know that a lot of people aren't going to go back and watch our catalog, which is probably better for all of us. But we've called a lot of stuff this year, all three of us. So,
dude, I'm listening to you guys, but he's got Red Zone on. and they just had the Detroit Lions up there, and they're just hyping the Lions. Dude, I don't know how to act, man.
What do you think of that
I'm
question?
not to PMS, I want to cry right now, man.
What do you think of EJ Abbey, the second's question there, Rick?
Oh, that.
I think it's full blown snowing outside right now. It just went from rain to hail to snow. I'm sorry.
Well, I want to say this is going to be an easy win, but no win's an easy win.
No win's
It's going to be an easy
win.
win.
An easy win.
It's going to be a good game, though, if they keep developing what they've been developing the last 6-7 weeks.
We're on the road. We're on the road for this game, right?
Yep, on the road. We got to be on the road. We've had so many home games.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. They were kind of busting Goff's balls a little bit today. He as of today,
they were busting his balls bad.
Going into the day, he only had 2 touchdowns on the road. Yep. As of the end of the day, he only had 3 touchdowns on the road. I think that's going to change. So we'll see. But I'm very positive about the next game, and I'm positive about the last 2 division games. I mean,
I expect next week to go very similar to how the Jacksonville game went. That's my personal opinion of what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, and Matthew, you're right. Either the Packers or the Bears will sign Tom Kennedy, guaranteed.
What is this?
Yeah, that's a good call.
Because we've been playing him off and on the roster all year, haven't we? And I think finally people are like, okay, that guy's good enough. They're keeping him around. Maybe we need to grab him. You know what I mean? So
he's a productive guy. When he's in and when they need him to be, he is. But there's a reason that the other 5 guys are wearing Lions jerseys at the moment and he's not. And it's because they're better than he is. I think that he absolutely could add value in some way, shape, or form, and he's a great guy to have as an asset. But at some point when you're sitting there putting together the best 53, you gotta make decisions.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of odd man out right now. I like Tom Kennedy. I like him a lot.
Yeah. I like him a lot too. I don't have a problem with Tom Kennedy. Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with him going to the competition the last couple of games. Alicia has a point though. I mean, yeah, look, it's always easy to say that you've been here the whole time, and you can watch our podcast for the last 8 years, and we've been here the whole time, right? But you got to let these people kind of have some fun and let them jump on the bandwagon.
My whole thing is I will reflect back to, I think, 2011, addressing Alicia's statement here. And the 7-9 Seattle Seahawks made the playoffs as division winners. And then they went out there and they played the Saints, and Marshawn Lynch had the Beastquake run.
Yep.
And they ended up losing in the next round. But that was the thing that took them from just a mid to low cap market team to the NFL darling for quite a while. And I think that getting more people on board, we got to remember, first and foremost, the NFL is a business. It is a business. And the more people that we have coming on board, we've been here. Most of us have been here for a very long time. The more people that we have coming on board, and the more people that we have buying tickets, and the more people that we have buying merchandise, and the better the team is, and the better games that they're playing, which allows the NFL to sell more expensive commercial spots, and all of these things that comes into revenue generation for the NFL. I don't want to put on the tinfoil hat right now and say that the NFL's all about making money, but they are about putting the best product as they possibly can out there. And because that does equal them making money. Yeah. If the same team is winning the same game every year, it's not exciting. It's not fun.
The Patriots prove that. I mean, it was starting to get old. Everybody hates the Patriots now, even though there's really no reason to hate the Patriots. Everybody hates Tom Brady, even though he's not on the Patriots. So, Rick, did you see the block by Swift? I'll be honest, running 99 from YouTube, I didn't see that block. Did Swift have a block on that?
I didn't see the block either.
I'll have to watch that. I did not see.
I did not see the block. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll have to check that out.
Was he picking up a blitz, or what was it?
I assume so. He must have been, or he blocked. Well, no, yeah, he must have been picking up a blitz. So yeah, we'll check that out.
I want to go back a little bit to the hashtag brand new Lions. So I think we've always been fans, and we've always had a great fan base, and We've been to a lot of stadiums. I've been to 27 stadiums, trying to go to all of them. And there's a buttload of Lion fans that travel well, a buttload of Lions fans. There's people support the Lions. But it's a different feel now, like we were saying earlier, is other people are like, they're not Lions fans, but like they're happy to see the Lions starting to do something and making games fun and interesting. Everybody, you would not believe the amount of freaking texts I got from old Army buddies I ain't seen in 10, 15 years getting on my Facebook page saying, I love you, Coach Dan Campbell. He's fucking badass, man. Dan Campbell has these boys in the right state of mind. And other teams and other fans are seeing this, thinking, hey, man, this is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially teams that are used to winning, their fans. And they see the Lions, they're happy about it. Like, hey, so they're not bandwagon jumpers. They're just people like, hey, man, this is pretty fun, cool. This shit's happening right now.
Yep.
Hopefully we can keep it up. Brian,
I think they will. I mean,
I wish we'd have one game back, just one game back.
Well, look at the last 3 games we have. We've got the Panthers, Bears, and Packers. We all agree the Panthers it's not going to be an easy game, but it's a winnable game. The Bears is going to be the biggest thing. We struggle against mobile quarterback, like you guys talked about earlier. And then the Packers. I mean, we always play the Packers at the end of the year. And more often than not, it doesn't matter because the Packers aren't our conference championships and we aren't.
Right.
This year it's different. Both of us are that's going to be a decent game. I still think we're going to win it.
The Packers playing this week Monday night? They're not. They must be playing Monday night because they're not on yet. So, they play tonight. When's the Packers play again?
Tomorrow against LA.
Okay.
The Rams.
Damn, that's a tough one. They want Packers to lose, but we need the Rams to lose.
Well, I mean, you got what did Baker Mayfield?
Yeah. So
you can count on the Rams to probably piss this one away, if not make it super close.
So that video clip I sent you guys of Dan Campbell watching the wave. I was sitting there watching the wave, and all of a sudden someone said, "This play." We did fucking what?
So one thing real quick, playoffs. If we make the playoffs, you know who we're going to play the Vikings in the first round. That's pretty much almost a guarantee.
On the wild card?
It depends
the way that I played with the playoff generator, there's a 95% chance we'll play the Vikings in the first round. So we're 1-1 with the Vikings on the year.
I'm fine with
that. Kirk Cousins doesn't know how to drive a steak. Grill a steak, sorry. What do we think our chances are there?
Fine. We should have won the first game. We did win the second game. I'm fine lining them up again. If that's how
even with that comeback last week. But I think Michael, who's the guy with the gap in his teeth?
Strahan. He got it fixed.
Strahan said at the end of the game.
He got it fixed?
No.
I do that to see.
He said he goes, because I guess he was flying and Howie Long was going. And you should have seen that was a comeback. And Michael Strahan said they never should have been down by that much in the first place. And I agree with that. I mean, sure, it was a great comeback, but they should have
33 points in the first half.
Yeah, he got shit fixed. Look at that. Like major before and after.
Oh, he should have kept it like it was. That was his signature freaking.
Yeah, it was a signature thing, but now he's
got new choppers.
He wanted to make himself happy.
He's happy.
Go, Michael. Look at them beautiful teeth.
I don't think he fixed it. I think that's a Photoshop.
It's not Photoshop.
I think it's Photoshopped.
Really?
It's not Photoshop. His bronze bust in Canton has the gap.
Right. Well, all right. Any other questions you guys want before we wrap up early this week? Well,
it's snowing.
Neil are distracted by the snow, apparently.
Well, it's starting to flake now. These are big flakes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what are you fucking?
Kind of like you, big ass flake.
You gonna miss school tomorrow? You have a fucking play day. You got to drive to
Tacoma on Christmas break. I'm still working.
You have to drive to Tacoma, Rick.
What's that?
You have to drive to Tacoma in that shit. I wouldn't be excited about it at all.
I got my truck.
No, I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about all the other fucking idiots.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Dude, I have 2 weeks left to work before I retire. I'm scared to death, man.
Congratulations, buddy.
Yeah, thanks. I'm just scared. I've never not had a paycheck since 1977.
You'll take a year off and you'll find some fucking cush contracting job in South Carolina.
I'm going to be a Walmart greeter. Get your shit and get the fuck out.
Do it at Costco.
Costco be even better.
Yeah.
A little more prestigious. my
Big flake
favorite.
inside also.
They have really good policies at Costco about hiring a diverse workforce and like your special needs and under height. So
Under height.
you're a lot.
I'm a chew in. Okay.
We got one question
Jason
for you. Jason wants to know: will it mess up the Lions' chances if they tie tonight? If who ties tonight?
They're not gonna tie.
If
The Redskins?
if the Giants and the Commanders
No,
tie,
that would actually improve it because they go off of wins versus losses. So if they tie, they have one less win and one less loss. So they will not mess up the chances.
well, right now that one tie that they had 2 weeks ago is boning us. A second tie would actually
boning.
Yeah. A second tie. These are big fucking snowflakes. Look at these things. A second tie would be not a terrible thing. It wouldn't be a terrible thing. I'd rather just have one of them.
Good for us. I'd love for them to tie tonight because again, it was overall record. So we're gonna have one more win after next week. It won't matter. Yeah. Well, thank you, Alicia. Squirrel. They see the snow and it's like they're just lost.
Alicia.
Christ. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. These dipshits haven't seen snow apparently in their life. Even though
we're from Michigan, but we live in Seattle, so shut the fuck up, Butler.
From Michigan, you've seen snow. All right, anything else? Last thing, last thought?
No, I'm gonna take a picture of the snow like a total.
Show Alicia.
Total local.
Dumbasses.
He called you a dumbass.
He did call me.
All right, next week Panthers. Hope you guys join us. We got 3 more games this year.
3 more games.
I'm excited. I think it's been a good year on Detroit Sports.
We got 3 more games during the regular season.
There you go. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Everybody joins every week. We see some regulars, and we really appreciate you guys. So hit us up if you guys want to come on. Again, send us your information. Let's bring you guys on and chat live next week or the week after.
We're supposed to get Angela on there. That never happened.
Oh, that's right. We got to hit her up.
Andy.
These dipshits. Thanks, Andy. All right. Well, we're going to sign off.
Christmas, Andy. The fuck?
We'll sign off with Andy. We appreciate you again. Thank you. Glad to go Lions. Let's keep cranking it. Until next week, I'm Butler.
I'm Neil.
And I'm Detroit Rick.
And we will see you on Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve. That's right.
Yes.
All right,
Maybe one more time.
And I say Christmas, by the way. So peace.